Welcome to the Martin Bailey Photography Podcast. It's April 16, 2021, and this is episode 737. When I bought my iMac Pro 4 years ago, I seriously considered buying the VESA mount adapter with it so that I could mount the iMac on a flexible arm. But at the time, all of the arms that I could find that would support the iMac Pro were around $200. So with the mount adapter, I was looking at around $300, so I decided to pass on this option. Since then, my eyesight has changed slightly as presbyopia sets in, and I found that the distance to my iMac was just at the point where my short distance glasses were not helping and my long distance glasses didn't help either. I also developed some pain over the last few weeks as I spent way too much time sitting at the computer in an awkward position. So I decided to check on the price of the adjustable arms again to see if there was anything more reasonably priced that would do the job. To my pleasant surprise, I found a brand called Huanuo, I'm not sure if that's pronounced that way, that made a number of stands that would be perfect for what I wanted. And the price was so low that I almost felt guilty paying so little. But I found that the engineering quality and usability of the two stands that I bought was excellent. So I figured I'd share my findings with you today. And I'll include a few photos of the various positions in which I'm now using my dual display setup with both of the displays on adjustable arms. Stepping back in time a little, I'd actually always been slightly disappointed that the iMac comes with a stand that does not allow the adjustment of the height of the display. It always seemed slightly low to me. I also like to use my displays vertically sometimes, like when viewing lots of portrait-oriented images, or investigating problems in programming language code. But there's no easy way to flip the iMac up on its side with the stand that comes with it. Once you change this for the VESA mount though, you can easily rotate the display, and I will also share the keys that you need to press to actually see the rotation options in the display preferences, as these are not visible by default. So the two adjustable arms that I bought for my iMac and my second display are the Huanuo single monitor stand HNSS8, which supports holding a hair under 20 pounds. So I've used this for my 32-inch BenQ display, and the HNSS12, which holds up to 26.4 pounds, making it compatible with the slightly heavier iMac Pro. Although the lamp and mic stand that are also attached to the back of my desk make this somewhat difficult to understand what's happening, here's a photo of the back of my iMac and my second display on the stands, so that you can see what I'm talking about. As usual, I've embedded the images that I'm talking about into the audio, so if you are listening on a device or with software that displays chapter images, you'll see what I'm talking about as we progress. If not, please visit the blog post for this episode at mbp.ac/737. The two stands together only cost me around $70 on Amazon here in Japan, and ironically that's about the same price as the iMac Pro VESA mount adapter kit from Apple. The BenQ display comes with the screw holes to attach to the VESA mount without any adapters, as you can see in the photo. But the iMac comes with a stand that has to be removed and a plate affixed to the back to take the screws that fix it all together. I've found the whole process pretty fascinating, so I shot a few images as I replaced the iMac Pro stand for the VESA mount adapter. First of all, here are the kit components out of the box ready to use, and as you'd expect, they're well engineered and match the dark grey of the iMac Pro. To remove the stand that comes with the iMac, you have to slide that credit card sized piece of plastic into the slot that the stand is fixed into and move it around until the stand is released slightly, allowing you to push it down and reveal the line of screws along the top, as you can see in this next image. You can then unscrew the default stand screws with the driver that comes with the VESA mount adapter kit and apply the base for the adapter as you see in this next shot. Then you can attach the VESA mount plate with the 4 screws at 10 centimeter spacing ready to attach the third-party mount. And here finally is the mount that came with the Huano adjustable arm that I bought to support my iMac Pro. After that, I attached the adjustable arms to the back of my desk and attached both my iMac Pro and the BenQ 32-inch displays and started playing with the positioning. I won't go into detail on the actual process of putting the adjustable arms together, but I will say that it was, again, a relatively easy process. The only thing that you have to really be careful of is the arm springing open as you unlock the locking strap. There's a lot of pressure stored in these arms, and you could easily hurt yourself when they spring open if you rush the process. Thankfully, there are plenty of warnings in the instructions, so you have to ensure that you read the manual before getting stuck straight in. I've found the freedom to move the 2 displays around quite liberating over the last few weeks since I installed these adjustable stands, so I've shot a few images to show you the variations I'm using and easily switching between because the stands just support the displays wherever you move them to. First up here is just a regular landscape orientation dual monitor setup. Even this is better with the adjustable arm stands though, because I can easily bring the displays towards me more, which helps me to see the displays properly without using my short distance or long distance glasses. Also, because the displays are free floating now, I don't have to worry about all of the other things on my desk. Probably one of the most useful setups I've started using is the one that you see in this next photo, with the iMac Pro rotated 90 degrees into portrait orientation. Although I could always easily rotate the BenQ display on its stand, I found that the 32-inch display is slightly too large to be useful in portrait orientation. The slightly smaller 27-inch screen of the iMac Pro, on the other hand, is a good size to use in portrait orientation and is, of course, great for viewing portrait-oriented images without compromise. Here also is a photo of the dual display setup in Capture One Pro, still with the portrait orientation iMac and the viewer filling the screen with a portrait image. Of course, you can save your workspace so it's easy to recall the various positions of the browser and viewer, etc., as you move between screen layouts. This would also be great for a tethered shoot with portrait orientation images of a model being streamed back to the iMac and displayed instantly as you shoot. You may notice that the option to rotate the display on the iMac is hidden by default, probably because the vast majority of people just use them on the default stand that doesn't allow for portrait orientation. To show the rotation option when using an adjustable arm mount like this, press the Command and Option keys together while selecting Displays from the system preferences, and you should see a rotation option. If it doesn't show straight away, try a few times. The timing can be a bit finicky. Luckily, once you have the display rotated, you don't have to press the key combination every time you open the preferences. As an added bonus, I'm even now able to swing my BenQ display out so far to the right that I can use it directly while playing my keyboards making music as well. Because my keyboards have all the buttons required for me to select instruments, record, stop and undo my recordings, it's actually really easy to work on music even with the display off to the side like this. So this is a liberating new change as well. As I mentioned, I developed a bit of pain in my shoulders and right arm as I worked too long in the same position, and I've found that since I added these adjustable arms, it's gotten much better. It's easier to adjust the height, and having both screens at a comfortable viewing distance has made a huge difference too. I also bought a stand for my MacBook Pro so that I can get it up to eye level when working at my dining table downstairs, and that has also helped as I'm not sitting with hunched shoulders to look at a small screen. Okay, so not directly photography related, but we pretty much all use computers, and also if you are a Windows user, you can use these adjustable arms as well, so it's not just about Macs either. And therefore, this should be useful to at least some of you. Thanks very much for listening today. If you enjoy this podcast, please share a link with your friends. Subscribe in iTunes or your favorite podcast program to ensure uninterrupted delivery. If you have a moment to rate the podcast or leave us a review in iTunes, that helps to keep us relevant in the huge number of podcasts out there now. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter and LinkedIn, and links to everything that I'm up to are at martinbaileyphotography.com, so do drop by and take a look. I'll be back next week with another episode, but in the meantime, you take care and have a great week, whatever you're doing. Bye-bye.